So today we're going to be working on the transactions for Thursday, August 20th of 2026. So make sure you're signed into your Puppy Love Pampered Pooch account. And we're going to start off the day with Andy Garcia's medium-sized dogs, Chester and Mandy, have come in from a run in the woods with fleas. Andy stopped by to see whether Sadie had time for a flea bath and a mini pet groom for each of them. She's going to pay with check number 5848, and it's giving us 2 sales receipts numbers. So definitely using sales receipts because they're giving us sales receipts numbers, but also because Andy is paying with a check. So we're going to start plus new. We're going to go down to sales receipt. I'm going to check to see if Andy Garcia is in here, and it does not look like they are. So first thing we're going to do is add Andy Garcia as a client. Save Andy. We're going to add our colon, and then the first dog's name is Chester. Going to add the details, make sure we add Chester as a sub-client of Andy Garcia. We're going to go ahead and click save. So that's going to add Chester as a sub-client of Andy Garcia. Our sales receipt date needs to be 8/20 of 2026. Our payment method is going to be a check. Our reference number is going to be the check number 5848. Make sure it's going to undeposited funds here. And the product or service in this case is a flea bath and a mini pet groom for a medium dog. So that's going to come to $45. We're going to repeat this exact same process next for the second dog, Mandy. So we're going to click save and new because we want another sales receipt. So Andy Garcia, this time we want Mandy. So we're going to add new, go to details, make sure we want that as a sub-client. Andy Garcia, and we're going to save that. So Mandy's now been saved as a sub-client of Andy Garcia. Our payment method is that same, check. The reference number was 5848. We're depositing undeposited funds. Make sure your sales receipt date is 8/20/2026. And let's product or service. We need another flea bath and a mini pet groom for a medium dog. Again, it should be the same amount of money. In this case, $45. It did tell us our sales receipt numbers should be 1036 and 1037. This is the second one and it's 1037, so we're right on track. If yours isn't, that just means you might have a sales receipt somewhere that you've deleted and then your sales receipt numbers have gotten off, and that's okay. So that finishes up this transaction for Andy. We're gonna go down to Lou Sinks, who brought in her large dog, Molly, and she's going to pay cash. So we just need to do save and new. And it's going to open up another sales receipt for us for Lou. So we're going to add in Lou. Save Lou because that's the client. We want the sub-client to be the dog, Molly. We're going to have to go to the details, add a sub-client. Blue, and save. Sales receipt date should still be 8/20. Payment method in this case is cash. So there's no reference number there to put in. Depositing to undeposited funds. Our service in this case is a bath and brush for a large dog. That's going to be $40. We're going to, so that's going to finish up this sales receipt. We're going to go save and new. Our next transaction is Mammy Saunders brought in her large dog Sam for a full pet groom, paying with a check number 4844. Again, since they're paying, we know that's going to be a sales receipt. So I'm going to have to add in Mammy Saunders as a client, and then I'm going to add in Molly as a subclient. Sales receipt date should be 8/20 still. We're going for a payment method of a check. Reference number, here's that check number. Depositing to undeposited funds as always. And we need a full pet groom for a large dog. So that's $55. And this time we're going to do a save and close, because the next one we have is Windermere Kennels. We're given an address. They brought in 5 small dachshunds for a mini pet groom this week on account. Will pay in 15 days. So the words on account tell us that they're not paying us. The 15 days is the terms. That's the amount of days they have to pay. So we're going to have to create an invoice. So we're gonna have to add Windermere Kennels. I'm gonna go to details because I also want to add in their address. So their address is 1717 South Dog, Los Angeles. Then we're going to go ahead and click save here. So once we've saved that, we're going to check the terms. Our terms should be net 15. You'll see that's already done for us. The invoice date should be 8/20/2026. And we need 5 small dachshunds for a mini pet groom. So small dachshunds for a mini pet groom. We're going to change the quantity to 5. And this time you'll notice that the book is telling us to add a price rule for kennel clients. Their total should be $112.50. I'm going to go ahead and click the rate here and change the rate to kennel clients. And you'll see that'll update the balance due to $112.50. We're going to save and close. Remember, in order to send an invoice, you must have the email address for the client. So we're going to save and close, and then we're going to go add this price rule for our kennel clients. So we're going to go to our gear menu. We're going to go to all lists. We're going to look for price rules right down here, bottom left kind of. And you'll see here we have our kennel clients with the adjustment for a 10% discount. We're going to edit that and we're going to click add a client. We want to add Windermere Kennels as a client who receives that 10% discount because they're a kennel. So if I just start typing in Windermere Kennels, you'll see it'll pop up there. I want to save and close that. So that'll save and automatically give Windermere Kennels that 10% discount in the future. So the next thing we have is a 1-year subscription to Puppy News Magazine with our debit card. Anytime you have a debit transaction, that money will come out of your checking account. So remember that. I believe that question is on a version of the test that I've seen. So make sure anytime you have a debit card, your debit card pulls money out of your checking account. So here we're going to have a new plus new, and we're going to have an expense. We are going to pay Puppy News Magazine. Oops. What are we paying with? We're paying with our debit card. So you can add in the word debit there, or you can leave it out. I'm just going to leave it out because the payment account is set to our checking account, which is our bank account. So we're going to change that to Los Angeles City Bank. The category in this case, we're going to have to find a category where this fits. I would assume that it's going to be in dues and subscriptions because it is a magazine subscription. So we're paying for a 1-year magazine subscription, and that's going to total $24.95. So just double checking things, we're paying for a 1-year subscription to Puppy News Magazine with our debit card. Again, your debit card is different than your credit card. Your debit card pulls money out of your checking account. So your bank account is your checking account. And then we're going to click, in this case, save and new, because we have another expense right after this. So the next thing we have is we're paying for a room freshener and a small fan from Office Plus. So Office Plus is already a vendor, so we're going to click Office Plus. Again, we're paying with our Los Angeles City Bank because we're paying with our debit card. Payment date is still 8/20/2026. We need the category to be office supplies and software. The amount here is going to be $36.96. And then we're going to select save and close. And that is finishing up Thursday, 8/20/2026.